Welcome to Writing Tandem. So glad you clicked on this podcast to check it out. Points for us, I guess. So, what is this Writing Tandem podcast, and why should you care to like, subscribe, and follow for the weekly episodes? Well, this is the part where I tell you, and then you decide if you'll click to listen to more. No pressure, so here goes. I'm Vivian Kavam, the host of Writing Tandem, which is a weekly look behind the scenes of a small business. If you're a seasoned small business owner looking to level up, a new business owner needing some basic instructions so you don't land in the stats of failed businesses, or you just find this whole world of small business interesting, then keep your earbuds in. Now is where I tell you why you should listen to me and how qualified I am. Just a little hint here, I'm not that special, but I do know a thing or two about small businesses, and I did show up here to create this podcast, so that does mean something, right? I'm a driven, tenacious, curious type who believes in positive attitudes, having a problem-solving mentality, staying curious, knowing what matters and what doesn't, inspiring by example, and above all else, encouraging others to do the same. I've been in business for myself since I was 12 years old. At least I think I was about 12. More on that. One of my first businesses, I got paid in a bag of Susan B. Anthony's. Literally a cloth bag full of silver coins, like a pirate's booty. That bag of silver coins was heavy, and the weight of it, well, it just made things feel so legit. It was one of the first times I had been paid as a little business, and it was a really proud moment for me. I also saved that bag of Susan B's for over a year. Points to my dad. He was thinking ahead about teaching me savings. He's the one who paid me. I was born into the world of self-employment and got a taste early for the thrilling aspects and gut-wrenching difficulties. I watched my grandparents and parents on both sides of my family run their own businesses. I watched them talk excited about new ideas and products and launching things. I watched them hustle, and they hustled really hard. I also watched them, and frankly, I often joined them in working into the wee hours of the morning just to get something done or delivered. I watched them win, and I watched them lose. I watched, and I wanted the same thing. I dreamt of how to create a business and how I would run it and what it would look like and what I would do. What I would do the same and what wisdom I would take into my own business. And of course, what I would never do like they did. Famous last words, right? Over the years, I have honed in my ability to create products, services, and brands that connect with people and create impact on communities. I've worked alongside big brands through my businesses like Crayola, WeTV, the Discovery Channel, and Taco Bell. Yeah, so that's the list where you go, wow, that sounds impressive. But I've also walked and worked right alongside scrappy startups, mom and pop shops, and nonprofits. And frankly, those have been some of my favorite. I'm a serial business owner, having started and run a number of businesses, some with great success and some with epic failure. There's going to be more on those failures in future episodes. I think it's really important to talk about. It all started with renting toys from my bedroom shelves, now that I think about it. So really, I guess I was younger than 12. I rented those toys to my little sisters, and it was quite a little business. I had policies and I had procedures. I had rate sheets, which were probably not particularly fair, and I know that my return policies were not fair. I should probably beg their forgiveness. But it was my first experience with running a business. My parents did shut that one down pretty quickly. From there, I started running the sales aspect of my dad's business in my teens. And we created a micro product offering, my sister and I, within my dad's company, making change wallets for casinos. Yep, casinos. You know, typical teen activities. Well, typical when you like running businesses, I guess. My sister and I also designed, wrote, and published a newsletter called Taxi and sold subscriptions nationwide. That was when computers and the internet really were pretty new and just becoming accessible. We used a desktop publisher, clip art books, glue sticks, and the copy machine to make each issue. But we distributed it nationwide, and we made a profit. Also, in my teens, I started opening dance studios and taught dance classes. The first was in my parents' garage. I know, classy. And then I started getting into the big time. I was negotiating and leasing space for more legit dance studios. In my later teens, we moved to rural Nebraska, and I helped my parents with their farmers markets. And as part of that, I had my own little side hustle with my own products, including some art and craft things, but my big seller was the catnip. I harvested it grew wild in our farmyard, and then I dried it and bagged it in the garage in little Ziploc baggies, used a Sharpie to write the pricing on there. I will say baggies of dried green plants do bring some curiosity that I did not anticipate. Live and learn, right? Into my college years, I started a photography business. I started figuring out how to market businesses, create pricing, and quickly discovered the need for good accounting and contract writing skills. Later, I found and co-owned a video production company. That was in my early 20s. And by my mid-20s, I had created multiple media brands. By my late 20s, I was involved in the creation and actively running 7 different brands. I had a team to manage, and I had billed over $700,000 in business. I really thought I was making it at this point. Not bad for a 20-something. And then I lost it all. Every shred of it. There's going to be more on that in a future episode. So when it comes down to it, I just can't stop when it comes to ways to create revenue channels, build businesses, execute on new ideas. I love to experiment with them, and I really enjoy helping others do the same. I can't help myself. On the side, I get a kick out of reselling things on Facebook, and I rehab and flip campers, and I even have a side hustle for some pretty amazing supplements. So as you can tell, business is pretty much my life, and I love to talk about it. So all that brings us to today and this podcast. I'm now the co-owner of TandemWorks and McAfee Photography with my awesome business partner and co-conspirator for this podcast, Michaela Clark. Okay, so that was a bunch about me, the credentials, right? But let's talk about you and if this is worth you checking out the next episodes. Here's the premise for all the episodes moving forward. Check it out and see if it's for you. People who go into business for themselves have 3 options, and I'm here to make sure that you take the right one. Option 1. You can crash and burn in the first few years and wonder what the heck you were thinking, and have to explain that to all of your friends and family too. Option 2. You can build a business that runs you rather than you running it. Option 3. You can create incredible opportunities for yourself and others and enjoy a legacy of success. This last group of people, they're the group of people I want to be part of. And it's also the group of people I'm here to inspire you to. I believe 100% that the people behind running a business have incredible power to create the future. Their own future and the future of others. That's big. So I'm going to say it again. Running your own business gives you the power to create your own future and the future of others. So let's make that future a great one, right? Small business owners are driven. They're inventive. And unlike those who just talk, they do. They show up and they get it done. They dare to dream, and then they wake up every day and work with passion. Or at least they work to make sure they can pay for groceries. This podcast is our way to support and encourage you and get you into that group 3, the legacy builders. Small business owners, we see you, we support you, and we are in this together. Riding tandem, if you will. If you're killing it as a small business owner and ready to level up, this podcast is for you. If you're struggling, lost in your own head, wondering if you're making the right decisions as a business owner, this podcast is here for you. This podcast is also for those who are thinking about small business, dabbling with the idea of going into business for yourself. Maybe you have the ideas, or maybe you're even testing the waters out, and you might be wondering, what's this really about? What's it like to have a small business? Where do I start? Am I on the right track? I'll be taking you behind the scenes of our own business and others' businesses, sharing inspiration, real stories of success, and most definitely of failures, because those are important too. We're going to talk about how we do things, why we do them, what we would do differently. We'll also chat with other business owners and people who are much smarter than me on a wide range of related topics. At the end of the day, it's important to know that you're not alone. So what do you think? Planning to stick around and see how this podcast plays out? I hope so. I'd love for you to give it a shot. If so, I invite you to give the next few episodes a listen. And when you're all in, like, subscribe, and leave a review. Those are golden. And check out more on our website and socials. Links will be in the show notes. Before we meet up in the next episode, though, can I ask you to do something? I know, I'm asking you to do something for me, and we don't even know each other yet. But I'm going to ask anyway. Would you share this podcast with a friend? You know, that friend who's a kick-ass business owner, or the one who's struggling to stay in the game with their business, or the one thinking about getting in. Share this. You never know if it will change the future. Thanks so much. Be sure to send me your thoughts, comments, and questions to writingtandem@thetandemworks.com or DM me on any of our social platforms in the show notes. I'll see you in the next episode.
Writing Tandem is recorded on location at the studios on South 4th in Council Bluffs, Iowa, in cooperation with Todd Studer Productions.